Hi guys, today we're going to finish up the last step to our cube, which is to add in the hole on the top of the cube. So there are a couple different ways you can do this. You can actually use the extrude function and cut extrude, which basically is just doing the opposite of extruding. And an extrusion is to thrust outward or to pull a part out of the object. You can also do the opposite of that by using negative numbers and push into the object. We're not going to use that function for this. In order to create our hole, we're just going to use the hole function. So what we'll do is select our top view, and then in the ribbon we'll select hole. And it's going to, whenever you make a hole, it's going to open up this other box which has a bunch of different options for creating many different holes. So what we'll be doing is creating a linear hole. There are multiple types of holes you can create. We'll be creating a linear hole for this project, and reference point 1 and 2 is going to help us center the hole right in the middle of the top of our cube. So just a few things we want to fix about our hole before we even make it, and that's going to be the dimensions. We do not want our hole to go 1 inch into the cube. The depth, rather, should be ½ inch, so we'll take out that 1 inch and put 0.5 or 1/2. So we now have a depth of ½ inch into the cube. And our diameter, we know, is not a 1/4 inch, it is 1 full inch. So we'll take out that 0.25 and place in 1 inch. So now my dimensions are ready to go, and I can start putting in my hole. The options for putting in a hole, you have a drill point option where you can have the bottom of the hole angled or the bottom of the hole flat. We're going to choose flat for this project. And once I have everything ready to go, it looks like our hole's ready to be placed. So we come over top of the surface in which we want our hole on, and we're just going to click, and that's going to open up our hole placement. This box here indicates my diameter, which is 1 inch. If I wanted to change this, if I decided, well, I want that hole to be 1.5 inches, I can change that right here in the box. Or let's say I wanted it to be 1/4 inch, I could make that change there. But we know, and we've already put in, that we want our diameter to be 1 inch. So we'll stick with 1 inch. Okay. So now I need to ensure that my hole is centered on the face of this cube. So we're going to come over here and click reference point 1, and this is sort of just like the dimensioning we did with our cube and our square and circle in the last video. This is telling me that the center of the circle is 0.92 inches from the side of the cube. Well, that's not what I need. I need it to be exactly 1 inch from the side of the cube. And then I'll need to select dimension or reference 2 and select the opposite side of the cube, which is now also 1 inch. So I'm ready. I can click apply, and I have my hole, and then I'll exit out. So now I've got my 3D cube all set and ready to go. It's ready to be put into a drawing file and dimensioned. There are a couple of other pieces that I'd like to show you while we're here, functions that you can use as you are creating new objects. So let's say that I wanted to screw something into this hole. Well, I could make a thread here so that a screw would fit into it. I'm just going to go up and select thread, which gives me the thread option, and then select where I want to put the thread. Okay, that's going to just directly apply a thread so that it's ready to have a screw threaded into the top. Okay, let's say that I no longer wanted my square sides, and I'd rather have this be angled, or what we call beveled, for each section. Well, I can use the fillet or chamfer options here to sort of flatten off or angle those sides. Well, we'll use chamfer for today. So I click the chamfer option, and it's going to allow me to select the sides that I would like to bevel out. So I can just come around and select each side, click select, and I've beveled off the top of my cube. So feel free to play with each of these functions, and I'll see you in the next video.